Welcome to today's online English lesson. In today's lesson, we will be diving into the fascinating world of language tricks that writers use to add depth, humour, and emphasis to their writing. We will explore three specific techniques: oxymorons, irony, and sarcasm. Let's start with oxymorons. Oxymorons are when contrasting ideas are put together in a phrase or sentence. Writers often use oxymorons to emphasize something or create a unique effect. One famous writer who made excellent use of oxymorons is none other than William Shakespeare. In Shakespeare's play, Romeo and Juliet, the character Juliet says, good night, parting is such sweet sorrow." Now, sweet and sorrow are two words that don't typically go together. Juliet means that she is both sad that Romeo has to leave and happy because they are planning to get married. This use of oxymoron highlights the bittersweet nature of their parting. Oxymorons can also add humour to a piece of writing. For example, imagine a situation where the opening of a new community garden was a bit chaotic. You could describe it as organised chaos. By putting the words organised and chaos together, it emphasises that the opening was not well organised. The contradiction between the two words also adds a touch of humour. In fact, we can even use the term oxymoronic to describe this kind of contradictory language. Now, let's move on to irony. Irony is a literary technique where the intended meaning of a situation is different from the actual meaning. It often involves a contrast between what is expected and what actually happens. Irony can be found in various forms of writing, from literature to everyday conversations. For example, imagine a situation where someone says, "What a beautiful day," when it is actually raining heavily outside. This is an example of verbal irony, where the speaker's words convey a different meaning. The irony lies in the contrast between the statement and the reality of the weather. Another form of irony is situational irony, where the outcome of a situation is different from what is expected. A classic example is in the story of The Gift of the Magi by O. Henry. In this story, a husband sells his prized possession to buy a gift for his wife, while the wife sells her most treasured possession to buy a gift for her husband. The irony lies in the fact that their gifts are no longer useful because they have sacrificed the very items they were meant to be used with. Lastly, let's explore sarcasm. Sarcasm is a form of irony that is used to mock, ridicule, or convey contempt. It often involves saying the opposite of what is actually meant, with an intention to criticize or express disdain. For example, imagine someone says, "Oh great, another Monday," in a sarcastic tone. This person is expressing their dissatisfaction with the start of the work week, but using sarcasm to convey their true feelings. Sarcasm can be found in various forms of writing, such as humorous essays, satirical articles, or even in everyday conversations. In conclusion, writers have a plethora of tricks up their sleeves to make their writing engaging and impactful. Today, we explored three of these techniques: oxymorons, irony, and sarcasm. Oxymorons allow writers to emphasize contrasting ideas and add humor to their writing. Irony creates a contrast between what is expected and what actually happens, while sarcasm is used to mock or express contempt. By understanding and recognizing these techniques, we can appreciate the richness and complexity of the English language. Now that we have explored these concepts, let's put your knowledge to the test with some questions. 1. What are oxymorons and how do writers use them? 2. Give an example of an oxymoron from Romeo and Juliet. 3. How can oxymorons make a piece of writing more humorous? 4. Define irony and provide an example. 5. What is the difference between irony and sarcasm? 6. How does sarcasm add humour or express frustration? 7. Can you think of an example of sarcasm in everyday language? 8. Why do writers use irony and sarcasm in their writing? 9. How does an oxymoron emphasise a particular point in writing? 10. Name one other literary device that writers use to engage readers. I hope these questions will help you consolidate your understanding of oxymorons, irony, and sarcasm. Have fun exploring the world of literary devices, and remember to incorporate them into your own writing to add depth, humour, and emphasis.